I've never lived in or visited English-speaking country. I have never gone to English course. I have not studied the university in English. Then, how did I learn it? Keep watching, I will let you know one by one. English also helped me find my soulmate, my wife. A language cannot be taught, it can only be learned. And I will help you create your own English learning system to improve your listening, reading, writing, and speaking. But first, a bit of backstory and what stages I went through. I was born in a small town of Azerbaijan. At 5th grade of school, our English lessons started. Until we finish the school, we are taught English grammar. And we are being prepared by teachers for university exams, learning English grammar to pass quiz exams. At university, I realized that I know a lot of English grammar rules, but I can't say a word while I'm speaking. I go to conversation clubs where we choose one topic and everybody expresses their thought about the topic in a row and discuss. At the same time, I read simplified English stories which are categorized by elementary, pre-intermediate, intermediate, upper intermediate, and advanced. I still see that I don't progress that much. In conversation clubs, when it's my turn to talk about a topic, I struggle a lot to explain what I think about it. One of my friends suggests me to memorize some small text that consist of 5-6 sentences, and it really improves my talking to some extent. When I talk, I use some of the patterns from these texts whenever it is appropriate. As soon as I see foreigners in my country, I do my best to talk to them to improve my speaking. I find lyrics of the songs, learn their translation, and sing them. I memorize a few of Eminem's raps and can say them by heart even now. I got a laptop in my back pocket, my pen will go off when I half cock it. Got a fat nut from that rap prophet, made a living in a killing off it ever since Bill Clinton was still in office with Monica Lewinsky. Other than that, I try to learn 10 vocabulary every day, thinking that by the end of the month I will know 300 words. But wrong. Then I come across a teacher's lessons on the internet. In the video, he explains how you have to learn English the same way you have learned your mother tongue like a child, and talks about learning grammar naturally rather than memorizing boring rules. I buy his lessons and dive in. It consists of 30 modules, one per week or more, and each module from 4 audio lessons with their PDF files. First audio in each module is main, second is vocabulary, and third is mini story. Towards the end of modules, he adds point of view stories. In the main, he prepares you psychologically, motivates you, and gives tips. You also subconsciously improve your reading by reading this material. In the vocabulary lesson, he explains some of the words that may not be familiar. This is the least important one. Third, and the most important one, is mini story. These stories are not simple stories, but rather question and answer which exposes you to speaking. In these stories, you talk along with him. Let me show you what it looks like.
There was a beautiful woman named Sophie. Sophie had to play Tiger Woods in golf in just 1 month. Who had to play Tiger Woods in golf in just 1 month?
Sophie had to play.
Well, Sophie. Sophie had to play Tiger Woods in golf in just 1 month. What kind of woman was Sophie?
She was a beautiful woman.
Sophie was a beautiful woman. Who did she have to play?
She has to play with
Tiger
Tiger Woods.
She had to play Tiger Woods. Who had to play Tiger Woods?
Sophie had to play Tiger
Sophie.
Woods.
Sophie had to play Tiger Woods. In tennis, right?
No, in golf.
No, not in tennis. In golf, Sophie had to play Tiger Woods.
So you listen and talk along with him. These lessons are very effective. In the point of view lessons, he tells the same mini story from the point of view of different persons and in different tense, such as once in the past, once in the future, once in the present, and so on. And you have to listen to these main and mini stories as many times as you can during a day and for a week. You can't switch to the next module until you do one per week. Actually, this is one of the reasons that these lessons are so effective. Deep learning and repetition are the pillars of any language learning. The lessons made me believe that mistakes are okay and taught me English grammar subconsciously. Until this point, I knew even advanced grammar. But after using these lessons, I understood that knowing about a grammar rule is not the same as using it while speaking when you need it. The lessons are called Effortless English Power Lessons. The name of the teacher is A.J. Hogg. So shout out to him and highly recommend his lessons if you need. By the way, I'm not sponsored and these are my honest opinions. During this period, I submerged myself with English by using all my devices in English, liking pages in social networks related to English learning, trying to think in English, read shop names I see and translating and so on. I also tried to think and talk to myself in English. For practice, I was using a website called Speaking24 and I also created a website similar to it called ingossip.com, but I stopped maintaining it so it doesn't work at the moment. And then I started using shadowing technique, and it's also one of the greatest methods that worked. And long time passed since then, and still I keep doing it as of now as well to improve my speaking. Since I'm working as a programmer, I also talk with my colleagues in English. I tried a lot of methods, some of them worked, some of them didn't. So now I'm sharing what methods worked for me and how to create a learning system for you. And I'll provide you with materials that I created for myself so you can download and start using them. We'll separate it into 3 sections. What you need to do in the beginning, what you need to do afterwards, and how to keep your focus while learning. In the beginning, speaking with short sentences are quite normal. You can even use yes and no or yes and no plus one short sentence, depending on the situation. You don't have to be afraid of making mistakes. Quite to the contrary, you have to make a lot of mistakes in the beginning. It's a must. If you don't make them in the beginning, you will make them afterwards. So better make a lot of mistakes in the beginning. Just focus on your fluency. Try to talk, even with wrong grammar. Don't forget, in this stage, your focus is to talk, not to talk correctly. Just learn basic grammar. Knowing the verb to be, to do, to make, and a bit of active and passive voice in this stage is enough. Just focus on speaking. If someone tries to correct your pronunciation, word, grammar, thank them politely and explain that correctness is not your focus at the moment. Because being corrected every time you make a mistake prevents you from talking fluently, and engage your mind to pick up right words, to pronounce words correctly, and it kills your fluency. In order to earn some time, you can use filler words such as by the way, I think, the way I see, I believe, and so on. They help you earn some time to think about your argument and also starts the sentence, so the rest of the sentence comes itself. I'm not telling using filler words are great. I'm telling using them in the beginning are helpful, so use them. Listen to simplified English, such as Voice of America News. These are news where they use beginner level and easier words. You can find other similar resources by Googling. Listen to your favorite podcasts, watch YouTube channels you like. Watching documentary is also very helpful because in the documentary common words are used and the pace of video is not so fast. Plus, they don't use too casual language. Read simplified, adapted stories. And also don't forget to read books, articles about the topics that is interesting to you, related to your profession. Of course, if you like your profession. Finding partner is not always possible, and sometimes people you find will not be good fit to you. Either they will be a beginner who can't talk or shy, or they will be more advanced and won't be willing to talk to you. But there is someone who is always interested in your opinions and always wait for you to think and answer. It's you, yourself. So talk to yourself in English. Whenever you feel that your inner voice is thinking about something, force yourself to think about that topic in English. You will go and find unfamiliar words and learn them. It's very powerful, and even some people say that they rehearse their public speech in front of the mirror. But if you want to find a partner to talk to, you can use Speaking24 website or Real Life English or a paid app like Cambly. By the way, Cambly, you could be a sponsor of this video. Alright, you use all these methods and you talk fluently. Now the next step. Now is the time to focus on correctness and work on it one at a time. You can learn some more grammar every now and then. Learn the correct pronunciation of the words you use. Pay attention to the emphasis of the syllables. Pay attention to the connected speech and learn what they mean, such as gonna means going to, wanna means want to, gotcha means got you, and so on. You don't have to incorporate all the complex things you have learned into your lexicon. You can keep using simple sentences while understanding more complex patterns. Don't forget, your goal is clear communication. Language is for communication, not for showing off that you know some fancy words. In this stage, you can read the books in English that you have already done in your own language, or watch movies, documentaries that you have already done in your native language. Being aware of the context will help you a lot learn and understand, and your focus will be learning English rather than trying to understand what they are talking about. Alright, let's talk about one of the most powerful learning methods, shadowing. Shadowing is listening to a material where a native speaker is talking and you imitate it. The reason it's so useful is that it improves your listening, reading, your mouth muscles, learning in context, and so on. You can choose any movie, documentary, YouTube video, or anything that interests you. Here I will go with the movie and explain how I do it. So you watch the movie and you liked it. We add subtitles to the movie, then cut it into 2-3 minutes parts and remove unnecessary parts where there is no talking. In the beginning of the next week, we find the words that we don't know and learn them. From the beginning of the week, we start listening every day as many times as possible. When it's Wednesday, we start imitating the actors and role play with them. So we not only listen and also copy the way the actors speak. By the end of the week, if we keep listening and speaking every day as many times as we can, we'll be able to memorize and say 2-minute long part by heart. If not, we can make it 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and so on. Remember, repetition and deep learning is more important than learning different topics and not being able to use them. Bruce Lee said that I'm not afraid of a man who knows 10,000 different kicks, but I'm afraid of a man who knows a kick and practiced it 10,000 times. If you don't want to spend time to find a movie, cut it into parts, you can get movie cuts that I did for free by subscribing to my Learn English by Shadowing newsletter. Links will be in the description. Our brain learns something quickly when we enjoy something. So this is why we have to choose resources that are interesting to us. In this case, we learn subconsciously. We enjoy the content and learn English without even feel like we study. It feels like enjoying. Think of just riding bicycle for fun. You don't even realize how you learn, you are just having fun. If you want to practice with someone for the sake of improving your English, your counterpart will not like it. They will feel like you abuse them for your own benefit. But when you and other person both are interested in a topic, they don't feel like they are abused and are willing to discuss it with you regardless of your English level. You can use different dictionaries to understand unknown words. At first, try to use monolingual learners' dictionaries such as Oxford Learners Dictionary, Cambridge, or Collins that are only in English, so you can guess the meaning of the word from English explanation at first. Later, you can check it with a bilingual dictionary to find its equivalent in your first language. You can even use generative AI such as ChatGPT to assist you in understanding the meaning of word or phrase in the context. In fact, it's more powerful because it can help you understand the phrase's meaning that sometimes are different depending on the context. If you give not only words but a wide context to generative AIs, they can help you more than individual dictionaries. You can even use ChatGPT's paid version as a conversation partner because there is the possibility of talking in a paid version. Always remember that language is a tool for communication. It's just a tool. Some people who have hearing problems are using sign language, and this is their tool. So don't worry about accent, slow talking, and using simple words. In fact, the opposite. If you use fancy words and nobody understands what you are talking about, what is the meaning of your speech? If you can't communicate clearly, does it even matter that you used fancy words that no one understands? Even some native speakers are using simple words, talk slower than usual when they are talking publicly to address to a wider audience. Embrace your identity. You are unique. It's okay to have accent. You are not a native English speaker, and English is no way superior to your local own language. But don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean that you don't have to improve yourself and work on yourself. It means take it easy and make your talking 1% better every day, without discouraged by unnecessary things. Native speakers themselves are sometimes struggling to understand movies, songs, and talks. Because English is widely spoken in the world, there are hundreds of different English accents, so you can struggle as well. It's quite normal. When you read or listen, you may not understand half of the words, but still you can understand the meaning, and it's quite okay. Deep learning and repetition is very important. Often we skip it, and this is the reason we cannot remember the words that we think we know. Write your goals on paper, why you learn English, and stick it to somewhere you can see every day. Whenever you feel demotivated, it will remind you that why you learn English, and it's part of your bigger goals. English itself cannot be a goal because it's a tool. If you think deeply, you will find the reasons why you want to learn English well. For example, at the time, I wanted to study abroad, and it added to my motivation. So even though I never went abroad to study, it definitely kept me motivated. English can change your personality in a good way. For example, I am very shy about dating or discussing some topics in my native language, but I can do this with English. I met my wife thanks to English. At the time, she was managing a page where she was sharing excerpts and their translations from movies, so I was one of her followers, so we started chatting on Instagram. Now we have 2 cute babies that we are taking care of. Ignore people who demotivate you. They do it sometimes inadvertently. Even when they try to correct your every sentence, ask them politely not to do or get away from them. Because with time you will realize that your fluency goes down. You keep thinking a lot to build a sentence while you are talking. You learn every day, but you can't feel it. It's like our family member growing and we don't realize it, because every day we see him. You can separate your learning time into different parts of the day. For example, in the morning when you wake up, before lunch, during your commute, before sleeping, and so on. Consistency is the thing that what matters. Imagine you go to the gym and do workout every day, versus you go to the gym and do a lot of hard workout and hurt your muscles and you can't go once again. Let's wrap up this video with the words of Confucius. It doesn't matter how slowly you go, as long as you don't stop. You can subscribe to the channel, newsletter, and help us develop ourselves together. Peace.